We have school taxes. You pay taxes for schools, okay,
Yeah.
and that comes out of your income tax locally, but sometimes they raise a bond issue. Have you been in a city where they've raised a bond issue? They say, raise an extra penny tax for schools.
Yep.
Then you have, again, we have the state unemployment tax we talked about.
Right.
Then we have the state business license.
Okay.
We have the state business license. Then we have the telephone tax. Then we have the telephone federal universal service fee tax.
Come on.
Then we have the telephone federal state and local surcharge tax.
Too fun.
Then we have the telephone minimum usage surcharge tax.
So
Then
many
we have the
telephones.
telephone recurring and non-recurring charges tax. Then we have the telephone state and local tax.
Wonderful.
We have more utility tax.
Bring it on.
A vehicle tax. What if you bought a car?
I have
you
one.
You gotta pay some more taxes on that. Right
so
here.
much pie.
Well, there's so much pie. The pie's spilling out of the pan is what's going on here. Then we have our workers' compensation tax. Now, at the end of the day, my friend, you're going to pay about 50%. 50% of every dollar that you make out of your taxes.
That can be discouraging.
Yeah, so 50% of every dollar you make goes out of your income into the taxes.
And if we aren't aware of this, then we start budgeting for 100% of the income. And that's when we fall into danger, right?
Yeah, so a lot of people, they say, well, how did Allen Iverson lose all of his money? He must be not smart. I will tell you this. There's a book called The Millionaire Next Door that you and I can read.
Yep.
And it shows that most people, regardless of their income level, spend nearly all of their money plus some, meaning they live in debt.
Right.
And because what happened is Allen Iverson's making $100 million, and he goes out and spends $100 million.
Right.
Problem is, he only got to keep 50 after taxes. This is a problem. You see it all the time. So don't just judge MC Hammer and don't just judge Evander Holyfield. This is you and me. We are spending what we think we're making, but really, we only have 50% left after we pay our taxes.
So Clay, we've talked about this in the beginning. What is difficult as an entrepreneur, you're owning your own business, all that money goes into your pocket initially. So you got that temptation. How do you prepare to pay for the taxes when the time comes?
Well, I'm going to give you 2 action steps that we need to do. Okay. One is we need to set money aside. So we need to set aside money.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to recommend you set aside 20%. Everybody watching this, set aside 20%. That's a good
20%.
rule. Okay? Some of you are into tithing or setting money aside for charities. Just put 20% aside, like it's not yours.
Right.
Now, the second principle is we need to hire a homie to keep our books. We need to hire a bookkeeper.
You hire somebody else.
Yeah, because that's not going to be a good use of your time. You need to be creating a product and service that people want to buy. You need to be creating a solution to problems. You don't need to spend all your time calculating your taxes.
Right.
But if someone doesn't do it, you're going to get in trouble.
Right.
Okay, but these are things. Go ahead and set aside 20% and hire someone to do your books.
And that person you hire is going to probably keep you accountable, act as that accountability partner for that 20%.
And this has to happen.
Did you do this?
I didn't at first. At first, I always set aside 20%. I've always done a very good job of that because I've known I wanted to grow the company.
Right.
The problem is I thought I had money in the bank to invest in my business, and I actually just had money set aside for taxes.
Gotcha.
So if you want to start, once you get a good feel for how much taxes you'll owe every year, you can work with an accountant or a bookkeeper who can help you set aside a savings plan so that you'll have money to invest in your war chest to grow your company and to pay your taxes.
So how far along, just out of curiosity, how far along did you get in your path, with DJ Connection, till you kind of grasped this concept at a different level?
I was about 3 years into the business before I realized that I am going to have to set aside a set amount of money. Now there's a book that I would recommend that everybody here would maybe get, okay? And I was like, why do I need to do this? Well, there's a book called Taxes for Dummies or Small Business Tax for Dummies.
Okay.
You can find it, at Barnes & Noble. It's not a hard, but you need to at least familiarize yourself with the terms or watch every single Thrive episode we have on that.
Because we go point by point, definition by definition, and break it all down for you.
You have to know this stuff or you're going to be up a creek. And a lot of people feel like you have to be a conspiracy theorist to talk about taxes.
Right.
Well, young entrepreneurs say to me, they say, well, that's not true. You don't pay 50% of your taxes or 50% of your money in taxes.
Yeah.
You're a conspiracy theorist. No, Holmes. I'm a realist, and I'm telling you 50% of what you make, they're going to take.
Yeah.
So just be aware of it.
So you can go out and you can read that book, or like we said, you can go ahead and watch all these episodes. The benefit of watching the episodes is you get to see his face.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. Clay, this was just a joy. just to talk about this. I could do it for days.
Yeah, well, hey, maybe sometime we should get together and talk more about taxes.
Let's do it.